everyone. Welcome to Soul on Fire, where we are going to ignite the passion within. My name is Noelle Agape. I'm a leading expert in health, wellness, and consciousness. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for all the people that are here and live, and thank you for everyone that is watching the replay. Today, we're going to talk about you, and this is a really personal journey today. So sit back, relax, watch the replay if you have to. Watch this a couple times if you have to, because it's truly talking about what we're going to teach you today is how to connect to your soul, right? The name of this show is Soul on Fire, and we're going to ignite the passion within. And how do you do that, right? How do you actually live from your soul? How do you expand from where you are to where you have to be, right? And that's the journey that we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to go deep, deep, deep into your soul's purpose and how to get to your soul's purpose. We're going to talk about the internal guidance system that's built in within you. We're going to talk about the energetic fields and how to actually understand and manipulate the energy around you and what's going on in your life. So guys, this is such a beautiful journey, the journey of your soul. It is not an easy journey by any means, right? The journey of your soul is truly why you are here on this planet. And so many people that come to me, what we do really, the work that I do is a really deep work. It's not just, the mindset which is wonderful and amazing and it needs to be done. But the work that I do is deep soul work, right? It's energetic work. You have to go in and you have to, one, heal the childhood dreams, traumas that you've had to get to your dreams. And so going through the trauma, you actually have to get there and feel it and know it and see it. And so again, thank you everybody that is live on the stream now. Say hi as you're checking in. And for those of you that are on a replay, thank you for watching this. Guys, this is really, the soul's journey is here on a beautiful journey, but it is a journey. It's not an easy, not in any ways. And so how I could probably describe it the most is really a roller coaster, right? Because we came in and we jumped in and our souls were like, yeah, let's do this. And then we have to be in our human form, right? But what many don't understand is that really we are 1% matter, 1% in this human body. And all of the things that you believe to be real are just your perception of reality that you're emanating out into this world. Really, guys. And so 99% of us is energy. 99% of us is really our soul trying to expand and move to a different level. And so what does expansion look like, right? Expansion is such a big word and everybody's like throwing it around lately, right? Oh, you have to expand. You have to move to a different place in your life. And often what people don't understand is that they can't just get there, right? You just don't evolve because you're still in this human body. And so what happens often is that the God source, the universe, it teaches us these beautiful lessons in life. It's a lesson of expansion. It's a lesson from moving you from where you are to where you need to be. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling in a place that you don't know how to get out of, or if you're repeating patterns over and over and over again, that's a specific sign that you're not accepting the expansion that's going on in your life. If things are triggering you without even knowing, I mean, the energies of the world right now are so big, right? But they are transformative, and we are in the process of naturally transforming. And that's what I want to teach you guys today, is how to transform from this old version of you that you no longer feels is existing and you don't need to be there, to this beautiful version of expansion. And so what does that look like? Expansion looks like any growth in any area of your life that really just truly needs you to develop some skills to move to a better version of you. And with expansion comes, you cannot be in the vibration of expansion. So many people are like, I want to expand. I want to become a different version of myself. I know, I feel the wealth. I see the wealth. I see the better version of me. All of these things, but they really truly are not going in. One, and they're stuck in the old paradigms of what they used to be, right? The wounded feminine and the wounded masculine I talk tremendously about on my show, right? Is how in your childhood something happened between the ages of 0 and 10. And when you got triggered as an adult, you revert back to that inner child. And every time you revert back to that inner child, it's just showing you that there's a better version of you there. As an adult, you get to choose to not actually be staying in that inner child anymore. And again, yes, you may have been victimized, but you are not the victim. You get to choose your journey. You get to choose where you want to be. So what does expansion look like, right? So the journey of the soul is not an easy journey by any means. The journey of the soul, it's, we have soul contracts and sacred contracts. And so that's our dharma and our karma. And so often people are like, what is even the dharma and the karma? And so we jump in, and it has a lot to do with astrology. And that's a whole nother lesson, as well as your north nodes and your south nodes, right? And so those are the energies of the earth that you decided to come in as a human and say, I'm going to expand the energies of the earth during this time. So your karma is all of the lessons that you are learning throughout your life. So if it's a repeated pattern that you are not feeling loved, or you're not feeling like people don't treat you the right way, or it's a repeating pattern that you have really failed relationships, or it's a pattern that you can't hold on to money, or you don't have your relationship with money, right? And so every component of your life is a relationship. And that's what I teach my clients, whether it's money, whether it's you stepping into your purpose, whether as you bringing your gifts out to the world. That is part of your journey, and that is part of your expansion. And there may be times and periods in your life where you are really knocking it out of the park in one area, but not knocking it, like really struggling in another. And guys, when you're doing that, that's not really when you're expanding in that one area of your life, but you're still contracted in the other areas of your life. So guys, I have been doing this for 17 years. I am a health and wellness counselor. I am a NLP trainer. I train people on the neurolinguistics on how to actually manipulate their brain and mind hacking, literally train them how to become a better version of themselves. I'm a quantum energy trainer, so we go deep into the quantum fields with that. And so with expansion comes life's lessons, which are the soul contracts, right? These are the contracts that your soul came in and said, hey, I really want to expand in this area of my life so we can get to a high level of enlightenment, right? And that's our greatest gift, is that we get to be here to become enlightened. And if you are in this human form, and I'm here to tell you, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's honestly the truth. If you guys are thinking that you're so enlightened and you're so beyond the fact that you can grow, even I've been doing this for 17 years and I grow every day of my life. Guys, if you feel that you're beyond the point of expansion, you're 100% in your ego, because you in your human body are always expanding. Us as nature is always, always expanding. So what does that look like, right? It looks like us coming in and repeating patterns. It comes in and looks like us getting taught by the universe on a daily basis, guys. The internal guidance system within you is constantly, constantly talking to you. Again, I say this all the time. An acorn never says, oh, I don't think I can become that oak tree, right? A baby bird doesn't not know how to fly. It flies it clips its wings and then flies out of the nest, right? Nature is within us. And so is our soul's journey. So your soul's journey looks like what pulls at you. What do you want from this life, right? I want to travel the world and experience life. And there are moments in life, right? This show was supposed to be a travel show. It was an adventure show. I travel all over the world. I run retreats all over the world, and I do adventure and meditation and combine. But I had to pivot because of COVID, right? And so now I still get to teach at that highest level, and we get to have, adventure and beautifulness coming down the road. But your soul's journey is often, if you can't pivot, if you can't adjust, if you can't learn to deal with what's going on, it is teaching you, it is showing you on a daily basis of how to get there. And it really is always mapped out for you guys, 100% mapped out for you. And so if you feel in any way that, again, that you're stuck or you're living in fear, you're living in anxiety, you can't move past what you want to move past, start within. What triggers you, right? Start there. What triggers you? Why are you getting triggered? How often are you getting triggered? How has this pattern, this exact same lesson come up over and over and over again with different people and different circumstances in your life, right? Is it a repeating pattern in your life that you need to break? Is it a contract within your soul and you that says, yeah, I'm no longer doing this anymore. I'm making a conscious choice to say no to smoking. I'm making a conscious choice to say no to being treated badly. I'm making a conscious choice to say yes to wealth, to yes to the better version of my body, yes to this. But you have to make the choice, guys, because the universe is never, ever, ever going to take away your free will. So what the universe does is it talks to you all day, every day, and it shows you what your soul's contracts are. Your soul's contracts are these beautiful lessons that your life has come to learn. And your sacred contract, which is your dharma, your soul's contract, so the karma, your sacred contracts, which is your dharma, this is your life's purpose. And through your pain is always the purpose. So if something happened that was tragic to you, or something that is coming through you, you're not allowing it to come through you, life will show you over and over and over and over again how you're not living your soul's purpose. And so how that looks is you can get sick, you can get into a car accident, you can get divorced, you can have failed relationship after relationship, you can make money and then lose money, you can lose a job, but often what it looks like internally is I'm not lovable. I'm not safe, secure, and protected. I'm not whole and complete. I'm not one with the universe, right? I'm not in alignment with my highest self and my highest being. And so the internal guidance system, that's the next step, guys, is understanding that within you have this beautiful gift of an internal guidance system. And I say all the time that I get to dance with the universe, right? Because I teach meditation, I teach the quantum realms. We go deep into the quantum realms, which I'm going to go into in my quantum immersion. If anybody wants to join me on my immersion, we're going to deep into the divine feminine energies. We're going to go into the energies of the earth. We're going to go into the energies of you and how your energetic system actually emanates out into the world. And that's going to be a beautiful 6-week journey, guys. So if you're interested in that, definitely go to my quantum immersion. But for now, just understanding what you are, right? You are energy. You are God's source universe in a physical body. And if you don't understand your power on a daily basis, if you don't step into your power, if you don't own who you are, the universe is going to teach you. And that's the soul's journey. And again, it's never bubbles and unicorns as much as we want it to be. It is the depths of the darkness going in and saying, oh, wow, hey, this is happening with me to expand through me. And so what I teach my clients on a daily basis, guys, is that you have to literally go through the darkness to get to the light. The light will always win, but you have to choose it. You have to choose to be light. You have to understand that this is showing you, oh, wait, hey, I have abandonment issues, or, in the broken masculine and the broken feminine, there's different components of the broken masculine and different components of the broken feminine. And we as a society are healing this paradigm right now. We are coming in, our souls jumped in and said, we are here to change the old systems that are no longer working, the old structures that are, keeping us very, very, very small. And if you're feeling contracted in any way, guys, or you're feeling triggered, that is your soul telling you that you are not in expansion energy. And so let me tell you a little bit about expansion energy, and then I'll teach you about your internal guidance system and how to tap into the internal guidance system. So the expansion energy is creative. It is getting an idea that comes through you. And have you ever had an idea and been like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing idea I've ever had. This is my soul. I know it. And then you didn't act on it, right? And then someone else has that idea and you're like, wait, but that was my idea. No, it actually wasn't. It was the universe coming through you, giving you light and giving you the opportunity to grow to that level, and you chose not to. So every day I make a conscious choice and I have a deal with the universe, and I say, I understand that I have to go through the darkness to get to the light. And we are still human, guys. The darkness is still there, right? I mean, look at what's going on in society today. The darkness is still there, but the only way to the light is through the dark. And so many people want to miss this component because they're afraid of the dark. They're afraid of what fear can actually bring through them. So let's talk about fear and what that looks like. Fear looks like paralyzation in your life. Fear looks like non-commitment. Fear looks like you chasing after something. Fear is probably our biggest enemy on this journey, but it's never an enemy because it teaches you. And if you use fear, or if you use anxiety, or if you use all of the things that feel dark to you, nothing is good or bad. It's just a law of polarity, and it's science, and it exists. If it feels hard, if it feels scary, if it feels big, it means that there's something behind that for you that your specific soul is trying to get to. So if it feels like right now, especially with everything that's going on in society right now, someone is trying to control you. If it feels like you are in a place where you're triggered by what's going on, whether it's COVID or whether it's the Black Lives Matter or whether it's politics in every way, something is triggering you within you because you're not stepping into your power. The only way that we can heal society is to turn within. The only way that we can change as a collective is to have your voice in your power. What does that look like? Your voice in your power is you commanding you truly stepping into your power and owning who you are, you not being afraid, you facing every fear you've ever had, you learning that if you have anxiety, you have to stop and have take a breath. And believe me, I am 100% guilty of, I teach this and I still get triggered when things don't go my way. Because what part of my soul was I'm a type A, athlete that likes things in control. And when things are not in control, that's when I got jiggy. The more I relax back in to my own energies and I tap into my internal guidance system and I tap in and say, hey, whoa, what is this showing me? Because this is showing me that I'm actually in my wounded child. I'm in my wounded feminine. This is showing me that I really need to expand in this area of your life. Where can I bring more love? Where can I bring more light? And this is not woo-woo, like, oh, where can I find more love? Let's sit and meditate. Guys, I'm talking about like doing the inner work and saying, no. Like I'm afraid of commitment. And why am I afraid of commitment? I'm afraid of commitment because, my dad was an abusive alcoholic. And so let's go there. And so you go back to the raw and real of what happened. And then you deal with it because you're an adult and you pull up your pants and you say, that was terrible. And I can't believe that happened to me. And I wish that would never happen to anybody else in society. And I get to not live in that space. I get to actually heal my inner child and then move through it. And if you remotely stay in the wounded child, your soul's purpose will come up over and over and over again, but it will come up in a very hard way. It will come up as lessons. It will come up as you being triggered. It will come up as massive things happening in your life because you're not learning the lesson that is supposed to be in front of you. Life is never happening to you, guys. Life is happening with you. And the more that you are tapped in, and the more that you are tuned in, the more that you are focused on your heart center, the more that you are focused on getting through the darkness into the light, the more that you will truly expand to a higher version of yourself. So let's talk about the internal guidance system, guys. The internal guidance system is this built-in sacred geometry with it's all numbers, it's all nature, it's all within you. All that is in the world that you see out there is actually in you. How can you find that? You connect to what brings you joy. You connect to you. You connect to deepening you on the highest level. You connect to being to the highest version of yourself because the energy is there, guys. The energy of the highest version of you, the energy of the skinnier version of you, or the prettier version of you, or the version that you think is external, the man that you want, or the bank account that you want, the thing that you think that is external is just teaching you and mirroring you and showing you, literally holding up a mirror to you and saying, hey, beautiful love, this is the work that you have to do. I promise once you do the work within you, on the other side of that is that beauty, is that wealth, is that power. And when you look at external things to get you to a different place, that's not using your guidance system. Guys, those that know me know that like I truly get messages all day, every day. I get messages from numbers. I get messages from people. I get messages from songs. I get messages from, I feel, hear, and see everything because I am an open vessel. I allow myself to actually bring things through me. I had an idea to start a wellness hub 3 years ago, right? Where it was this hub of practitioners in every aspect, from yoga to the quantum world, or from Reiki to card reader. Every possible thing that you can imagine is going to be in this hub. And it was the scariest thing I've ever had to face in my life, guys, because it's like I'm creating a corporation. I'm creating this wellness hub for people called Infinite Wellness. And I built it. And it scared the crap out of me because it allowed me to build it and go from me to we. And it allowed me to actually say, wait a minute, this is not about me. This is about bringing wellness out into the world on a global level that I can't do. And doing that, I get to do Soul on Fire, which I get to do, this show and bring my information that I know out to you guys on more of a regular basis. But it scared the crap out of me, guys. Literally, I went through every challenge you can possibly imagine to get to my soul's purpose. I went through divorce. I went through, financial troubles. I went through understanding that my ego, it was never about me. I went through breakups and after breakups and with relationships. I had to learn me, and I had to honor me, and I had to have boundaries. And that's part of your soul's journey and expansion, is having boundaries, right? You have to have internal boundaries that you will not settle for anything that you've ever settled for in your life before, because the expanded version of you is nothing like the old version of you. Your internal guidance system is always there, right, guys? And so if you go in and you tap in, and again, I teach meditation. Meditation is, for some people, not the easiest realm, right? Because you can't quiet your brain. Find something that you love to do. Find a connection to who you are. Find that connection within your soul. Find that connection, whether it's jumping off a cliff in Bali, which is me, or, loving on my kids, which is me, or which is doing this TV show and helping you guys, right? There's something within you, and there's a dark component of you that the darkness is trying to be a beacon to the light, right? The light and the beacon is always there. I sent a picture of a beacon to a friend this morning that, I just felt like he needed love. And it was literally just like, hey, here's some love. I'm going to send you some love. You got this. You're doing amazing. Bring your gifts out to the world. Guys, that beacon of light that is inside of you can change one person's life. And it may not change anybody's life, but it will, if you're coming from a vibration of light, because you went through the darkness. That is the brightest light you could ever shine on this earth. I want to tell you guys so much that Hi, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us, by the way. So through the darkness is the light, right? So let's start there. So again, I had to go through all of these things, and every time I expanded, I started out from just being me as the normal person, as a counselor. I went from being a counselor to a health and wellness counselor. There was expansion, and there was growth, and there was fear, and I was like, I have to learn new things. But the universe was pushing it through me, right? Then from there, I learned neurolinguistics, and I learned about mind hacking, and I learned about the neurotransmitters in the brain and the kinesiology of the brain and the body. And it was like, whoa, you can actually change your thinking. You can actually change your vibration. Then from there, I went and became a quantum trainer. Guys, I now talk publicly on public TV about becoming, going into the quantum world. It scared the crap out of me before that, guys, because I was really safe in the counseling role. I was super, super safe in the counseling role. Thank you, Rebecca, for saying that. Yeah, it is a journey. And I'm so glad that you're embracing this journey. And thank you for doing that. Guys, the more that you embrace you, the more that you embrace your journey, each stage of my journey. And now, I'm a TV host, and I'm talking quantum world. And a lot of people did not like where I had to grow to. It made people really, really uncomfortable. And what happened, I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry about that, guys. So it made people really, really uncomfortable. And what happened often was that their resistance of me growing was holding me back, because I didn't want to be left alone, right? I was growing, and I wanted people to come with me. So I tried to save people, right? That comes next to the next thing, is being the savior during this process. You want to bring everybody along with you. And again, I went through the process of going from a counseling role to a healing role. And then you think, oh my gosh, I could heal the world, right? But it's not your responsibility to heal the world. You are not a savior, right? You are literally, you want to be a savior? Do the inner work. Find out what's going on within you. Emanate light out to the world within you from the highest version of you, and I promise you will be a savior. Because literally, if you think that you are saving or you're rescuing or you're doing anything, you're doing it from your ego. Unless you're doing it from a true place of love, guys, there's something behind you that is trying to heal that inner child within you. And I know that's really hard for you to hear at times, but guys, truly, 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 when you do the inner work and you work through the darkness and you find what's going on within you, and you say, yeah, that's not a version of me anymore that I want to deal with. And guess what? If you don't like that, this is your responsibility, not mine. I'm going to do my work, and then you do your work on your end, because their soul's purpose is not your soul's purpose. Their soul's journey is not your soul's journey, but people like to keep you small. I mean, look what's going on in society today, right? People like to keep you small. Why? Because they have control, and it keeps them safe. Because if you grow and you expand, that allows them to grow and expand. And some people are not ready for your growth and your expansion. So the more you tap into you, the more you tap into your energetic fields, the more you tap into, you work with the energies of the earth, the more you tap into the, God, source, the universe, whatever it is. You don't have to be religious to do this, guys. You have to know that there's a better version of you all day, every day. On a daily basis, I make a conscious choice. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to exercise today. I'm going to love on somebody, even if they're not loving on me. If they're going to reject me, I'm going to actually put boundaries on, but that's okay. If you're coming from a place of judgment, that's actually a really super low vibration, right? What you need to do is get through that vibration. You need to get to the other end of judgment. What's at the other end of judgment is honor, right? You honor the person for where they are, but then you move on. You don't need to stay with others. And oftentimes with growth and expansion comes guilt, because everyone's not coming on this journey with you, right? And you want the people that you love to come on this journey with you. You have to be okay with leaving those old energies, because if they're not growing with you, they will only hold you back. I promise you that, guys. So if there are energies in your life that are not allowing you to expand, it's because you're not allowing yourself to expand. Again, let's take accountability for our own soul's journey. Let them live their life and truly live from a life of purpose and passion. And if they can't get there, you honor where they are, and you honor you even more, and you walk away from energies that are no longer serving you. How do you do that, right? That's a big step. How do you walk away from something that's not serving you anymore? You make a conscious choice that you're a priority. You make a conscious choice that it's, for me, my priorities, and maybe this will help you guys. It is God, source, the universe. It is me. It is my family. And then it is my business. And I promise you that there have been many times that my business has come before my family. And that has wrecked my world. Why? Because I allowed it to happen, right? Because I thought that I had to have a certain life to have my kids be happy. My kids are happy when I'm happy, right? But one thing I learned for sure, guys, is that if I'm not filled up, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, if I'm not doing the inner work, my kids are not going to be happy. My family is not going to be happy. My business, my employees, the people that work with me, I'm going to bring that energy out to all of them. So by me being the highest version of myself, my community, every one of you that are listening, it is me being my highest version of myself, me learning the soul's contracts, me understanding what my soul's purpose is, and understanding that there is nothing that's going to stop me. Why? Because every day there's a better version of me. And guys, I've been doing this for 17 years. I teach this, and I still have a coach, and I have a health coach, and I have a business coach. And in the areas of your life that you need support, you get support, because you get to be a better version of yourself. You get to expand. And if anyone is ever trying to hold you back from expansion, that's when you step more into your power. You lean back, you find out who you are, and then you come out of that even more powerful, like a phoenix coming out of the ashes. There are moments in life where we have to pause, guys. There are moments in life where the darkness is presented in front of us. And I promise you that it is not an easy journey. But I promise you that when you stop and you pause and you just take a little break. And my new thing now is I just need a minute, right? And I still get triggered. Honestly, I'm human. I still get triggered. And I move through it much faster than I ever have in my entire life. With people that I used to have tremendous amount of judgment on, with people that I actually thought and had tremendous expectations on, what I do now is I lean back and I become the observer. And this is where I want to encourage you. The next stage, guys, to getting to expansion is you have to, one, go through your soul's journey, and you have to understand and heal your inner child. And then two, you have to literally, you have to see it from a different place. So from the expansion, you go through the inner child, and then you decide, you make a conscious choice that you want to expand. You connect to the energy of the people that you want to do that, because everything exists in all dimensions of time and space. So if you want to be a talk show host, connect to Oprah or whoever it is that you get. Somebody has already walked your path, because you're not alone. The universe has your back, and somebody has already walked and done what you've done. Get a coach, get somebody that's going to push you even further. The next step beyond that is, once you get to forgiveness and non-judgment and do the inner work, the step that it finally moves you into your soul's purpose is when you take a pause and you're the observer of your life. What does that even mean, right? Well, to be the observer of your life, you disconnect from the emotion of it. And you see that nothing is good or bad. It is just a lesson showing you on the highest way. You disconnect from the victim. You disconnect to the wounded part of it. And you actually, just like you're watching a movie screen, you see what's going on in your life. You see the facts. When you take a step back and you pause and you're the observer, Instead of connecting it from an emotional point of view, you can connect to it on a logical point of view. And your subconscious at that point can actually break it down and understand, oh, whoa, I have a fear of commitment. What does that look like? Oh, it was because I was abandoned when I was a child. Okay, let's explore that even more. What does that mean? Well, I didn't feel loved because my father abandoned me. I'm just going on this journey as an exploration. You keep going bigger. You keep asking your soul questions. You keep asking the universe questions. I promise you guys, I promise you with all that I am, every question you ever have has an answer. Every question that you ever have has an answer. And I promise you guys, the answer is within you. It is never an external source. The external sources will help you and guide you and show you and teach you. But if you tap into your energy within you and you do it as an observer from a healed space and from a forgiven space, there will be never the emotion once it's healed. Which the initial feeling will be trigger, right? But if you look at those triggers or you look at those darknesses and you take a pause and you lean back a little bit and you say, hey, there's a better version of me through this. How can I get to that better version of me through this? How can I get through this darkest? And I promise you guys that even up until 6 months to a year ago, I've had some of the darkest times of my life. And I went through them much, much faster than I ever have in my entire life. Why? Because I expanded and I just keep expanding. And that's my deal with the universe. I'm going to expand as big as you want me to be. I am a vessel. Let it come through me. I'm expanding out to global impact and there's no other option for me. You get to choose your level of expansion and you get to choose a level of comfort, right? And one of my friends was joking with me today, and I want to share this with you guys because it's hilarious at the same time that it is real, right? And so my friend turned to me and she said, Noelle, it's like you're birthing a new baby. You have to go through those labor pains. You have to have the baby within you for 9 months, and then it has to come through you and come out so you can actually have a brand new project, a brand new baby. And then I just stopped and I said, hey, can I have an epidural? And everybody laughed. But in that moment, I realized that I was like, hey, actually what I was asking for was support, right? And I called in support and I got support from a friend this morning, a close friend that he literally calls me and I call him and he is instantly on the phone with me. He's like, how can we serve? Let's do this. I have friends that I can call. If you feel that you don't have anybody, guys, I promise you're not asking, because the moment that you're in the darkness and the moment that you're in a place of vulnerability, that's when the universe is going to come through. The universe, God, source, whatever it is you believe it to be, has your back. I promise you. And there may be moments, there were moments that were really dark with me, really dark. And what did I do? I just said, I need support. And what happened often was my resistance wasn't allowing the support. And my control, I tried to control things so much that I wasn't allowing the support, right? I was actually having support in my life that me as a control person, that's type A, right? I wasn't allowing the support that was coming in. I leaned back and I paused and I received everything that I needed in every way, guys. So I promise you that when you become the observer and when you lean back, after you have healed whatever the darkness is, after that you have forgiven everything that you need to forgive, and don't forgive people for them to forgive you to change the situation. Your forgiveness is for you, for your soul to expand. Right? So after you do that, you become the observer of your life. When you're in the observer mode, it is, and I get emotional when I talk about becoming the observer because it changes your life. It changes your dynamic. You get to see at a different level of seeing. You get to hear at a different level of hearing. You get to breathe at a different level of breath. You get to be the highest version of yourself. And why do I get so emotional when I'm talking about that is because those that know me know that I truly live in my senses, right? I live in experiencing life. I will look at a sunset and I will embrace the sunset. I will love you from my soul. And sometimes that's too powerful for people, right? But I'm going to love you anyway. But I feel from the depths of my soul, I feel, guys. And when I feel, I get to connect. And when you feel and connect, it truly is allowing you to be vulnerable. So let's talk about vulnerability and from the observing point of view, right? You get to expand. You get to be a different version of you. You get to be a higher version of yourself because you're the observer, because you've gone through all the steps. Then you get to feel and be vulnerable. And so let's talk about vulnerability. Hey, Rach, thank you so much for being on. So vulnerability is scary. So many people shut down at this point. So many people, this is where they shut down because they could get to the observer, they could get to healing their inner child, they could get to forgiveness, but they can't get to vulnerability. Why? Why can't they get to vulnerability? Because that is the sweet spot. That is, wow, I'm feeling pretty vulnerable right now because I've just expanded and it doesn't feel safe for me. And when you are in vulnerability and it doesn't feel safe, you got to fill it with something. And you get to choose what you get to fill it with, right? You get to choose if you want to refill it with the negative energy or you get to fill it with love and light. And from that place of vulnerability, guys, I promise you, when you are vulnerable enough, people will hurt you. People will come at you sometimes. People will not like that you're changing. People will feel your energy shifting. People will not like that they're not controlling you anymore. But from the healed, forgiven observer that is vulnerable, you get to create. And let's talk about creation. We have creation within us. When you are vulnerable and you are willing to receive and you are willing to face all that is, you get to expand to a newer version of you. And you can't do that without being vulnerable. You can't do that without saying, at one point in my life, I had a fear of commitment, which was actually a fear of abandonment, which was from my father that was abusive. But now I get to choose and I get to talk about it. I get to tell people that happened to me because I'm in a place of forgiveness. I'm in a place of the observer. And if I want to love again, I have to be vulnerable. Or if I want to expand in my career, I have to be vulnerable. Guys, if you do not command who you are, you can't be vulnerable. And it's never about, and then this is what I learned just this week, guys, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, the warrior spirit that was on our planet for so long is so beautiful and it served us so well. But we're no longer in the energies of the warrior. That has actually collapsed. And that's the paradigm that we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And that's a whole different ballgame. But we are now in the divine goddess and the divine masculine and the sacred masculine, where we're tapping into our internal power from that space of vulnerability and healed and moving through it with light and love. The warrior served us so well in this country, but those are not the energies that they were moving into, especially over the next couple of months. What will test you, because the energies of the world of the next couple months will be, where am I vulnerable? Where do people have control over me? Where have people had control over me in my life? Where have I given my power away? And I promise you with the energies of the earth that are going on right now, and I can go deep into what Mars in retrograde and in Aries and how that looks, but I'm not going to, that's a different show. I promise you that the energies of the earth are asking you to no longer be a warrior. The energies of the earth are asking you to be pure divine light. to find the power within you and find love in any situation, because that is the healing energy. That is the vulnerability that society has never stepped into yet. We have served as the warrior, and it's time to lay our weapon down. That weapon has caused us to be in the position that we're in. And yes, we have to fight against something. But when you fight against the darkness, it will keep showing up, guys. But when you embrace the darkness in a way that you can get through it, through your light, through your power, through your internal gifts that you have, I promise the weapons and the war and the destruction that is out there, it's corrupt and it's not going to last. And the only way it thrives, guys, the only way those energies thrive are from you feeding into it. I'm going to say that again. And those that don't like that, it's going to be hard to hear. The only way the darkness thrives is when you feed into it. The only way that to get through the darkness is to the light. And the light is never outside of you. The light is always, always within you. Finding love in something that you found hate. Finding peace in something that gave you anxiety. Finding growth where you were stuck. Finding you within this journey. Guys, everyone is looking and scurrying around right now. Through COVID, through Black Lives Matter, through this crazy silliness of politics that it's my muscles are bigger than your muscles and I'm going to hurt you and I'm going to hurt humanity. What the world is asking for us right now is to be the best us we can be. And how do you do that? You step into you. You look into you. You tap into you and you find you. You command who you are. The battle, I promise you guys, is not external. The battle is within you. The warrior is dead. And I promise you, watch and see over the next 5 months. The warrior is no longer needed. It served us well, and thank you for being the warriors that you were. But now I'm going to shift that energy. And I'm going to ask you to be the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine that's inside of you. That beautiful light, God source universe is coming through you to defeat the dark. We can only do it when we tap in. We can only do it when we are living the highest version of ourselves. If you think for one moment that you are changing the world by doing things when you're at a broken version of you, you are so mistaken. So mistaken. You are changing the world on a daily basis. You are changing the energies. You are manipulating the energies. You are manipulating your mind. You are manipulating the energies in every cell of your body when you change you. You heal the inner child. You forgive the situation and the circumstance. You become literally the observer and you see what's going on. You learn the lessons. You understand what it was teaching you, and then you move into your soul's purpose. You be vulnerable enough to receive that love. You be vulnerable enough to receive that light. You be vulnerable enough to receive that message that is coming through you, that, hey, maybe I can do this. I've never done this before, but let's explore that. Let's explore with curiosity and healing and love. Let's explore what is going on. The greatest version of you is always, always, always inside of you. I'm going to invite all of you today to take a look inside of yourself. Start to be the observer in your life. Start to understand what triggers you on a daily basis. Start to see how you react to those triggers. Start to apologize when you do something wrong. Start to say, I'm jealous. Start to say, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling jealous. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling this. And when you start to feel the emotions that are there to teach you on a daily basis, the beauty that's within, that was perfect, Rebecca. Find the beauty within and use your strength to let it out. The emotions that are there, that are energy in motion, that are inside of you, are showing you the way. Your beacon is not external. Your beacon is within you. Your beacon of light, your gift to this world. You want to change humanity? Turn up your beacon. You want to change this world? You want all of this craziness with politics and everything that's going on with the riots and people burning down? You start with you. You do the inner work. You be brave enough to step into your inner child and know that's not you anymore. You be brave enough to face people that are trying to control you, and you stop it. You stop it. No one is going to change this world except you. No one is going to change your world except you. You stop it. You put boundaries up. You find your way, but your way is through you. Connect at whatever that means to you. For me, it's adventure. For me, it's travel. For me, it's my kids. For me, it's my family. It's my home. That's not what it's going to be for you. What it's going to be for you is what brings you joy, what lights you up, what it brings your soul like to the point where you can love. And if you are so in a place of darkness, please reach out, because I promise you there are people that want to help you. I promise you, if it's not somebody that you know that can help you, they can lead you to someone that can help you. And if anyone ever tells you, ever, a coach, a practitioner, anybody tells you that they're going to do it for you, walk away, run away. They need to guide you to a better version of you, not tell you who you are. Because your version of you, the greatest version of you, is all within you. When you allow that beautiful light to come through, you change the world on such a big platform, guys. You get to decide how big that platform is. For me, it's global impact, and that's it. There's no other option. But for you, it might just be that you get to enjoy your apple, or you get to pet your dog, or you get to go mountain biking, or you get to explore life. No one can tell you who you are. No one can tell you what your soul's purpose is. No one can tell you how to get to your soul's purpose. What they can do is show you tools and techniques and guidance to get you through the darkness that is teaching you on the highest level. Guys, I have created this incredible, beautiful wellness hub. I created it for people that need help. I created this. It is from literally me doing my quantum work, to people doing yoga, to people doing actual therapy, to every aspect of health and wellness that you can possibly imagine. I created it because the world needs us more than ever. I didn't create it for me. It's never about me. It's never about money. It's never about anything. How can we as humanity come together and move from we to me to we? Stop your ego. Your ego, and so many people teach to break the ego. You're never breaking the ego. The ego is showing you where the best version of you is. Your ego, your fear, your anger, your hurt, your sadness, your guilt, your shame, your jealousy is showing you where to tap into the light within your source, the sickness within you. Have a dance and have a conversation, and I invite you to do one of the scariest things you've ever done in your entire life today, guys. I want you to pick out what your greatest fear is and have a conversation with that fear. People make fun of me all the time because I sit down and I'm driving and I'm like, oh, hey, fear, there you are. Let's talk, right? When you have a conversation with that fear, it becomes less. it becomes not a burden. When you have a conversation with that anxiety or that jealousy or that anger, it becomes real. But it's only for a moment that it's real, because you get to release it in that moment. And then you get to bring light to that. And through the darkness is always the light. Through the darkness is always the light. You have to choose it on a daily basis. You have to choose you on a daily basis. You have to choose your soul's purpose on a daily basis. You can never get to expansion in the energy of contraction. One of the things that triggers me the most is contraction energy, because I expand so much, right? I open myself up to expansion. When I open myself up to expansion, I open myself up for rejection. I open myself up for hurt. I open myself up for